We're here at Excel London for the World Travel Market, and today in this show we'll be talking to Ugandans who've come to exhibit at the show, and they'll be telling us about what the tourism industry is like in Uganda, what there is to attract people there, and the issues of the Marburg virus and the Ebola virus. They'll be tackling those issues as well. I'm Rosemary Nankabira. Thank you for joining us for this show. We're here at the World Trade Market 2014 at the Ugandan stand, and with me is Mr. Stephen Asiimwe, the Chief Executive Officer of the Uganda Tourism Board. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Now, talk to me a little bit about how Uganda is doing in terms of tourism these days.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Uganda is trading very well now with tourism. The last statistics from the Ministry of Finance and our central bank show that tourism has emerged as the #1 foreign exchange earner for the country. This is a trend that has been growing in the last 6 years. We've been growing as a tourism sector at about 25% per annum. There's been increased investment. We've seen the numbers going up, increased number of airlines, hotels, investment, and increased interest, and we are very positive that it's a very good trend.
Well, put this in numbers. Say statistically, what percentage have we gone up in terms of trade?
Last year we earned $1.4 billion, which was an increase from $1.1 billion, and it's been an increase from 900 million, 800, 700. It's been a very incremental rise in terms of numbers, but more importantly, it's both numbers but also earning. We also see the number of jobs that have been created. We've seen more hotels, more investment, more airlines, more tourist arrivals, more business arrivals, more visitor numbers coming up. Yes.
In terms of how Uganda is being perceived, what is the area that is earning the most money? Is it the gorilla trekking, or is it the game parks? Which are the areas?
That's a good question. I think that Uganda, if you looked at it from in terms of segmentation, we have the largest, of course, is wildlife and nature, which is our biggest. We have 10 national parks, 12 game reserves. We have lots of water. We've got lots of forests. Natural beaches, so that number has been the highest. But that's not to say that the other sectors are not growing. We have history, we have culture, we have heritage, we have geographical features which people come to visit. We also have things like MICE, what we call MICE in tourism, which is meetings, incentives, conferences and events. We've seen a high rise in terms of people coming for conferences in Uganda, for sports, for leisure. So it's been an increase for every segment, but by far, wildlife and nature are still #1.
On the African market, how are we faring?
I think we have second fastest growth rate on the continent after Mozambique. That is in terms of growth numbers. But we are certainly still not as big as South Africa, Morocco, Kenya, Tanzania, but that number is fast catching up. And with more representation, more spending by government, our government is now beginning to recognize tourism as a very strategic area of investment and emphasis. So we're getting in more money, more resources coming into the country, and we believe that this number is going to increase.
So in terms of advertising ourselves as a country, what are you as the tourism board doing? Because maybe 3-4 years ago, there was adverts on CNN for Uganda. So what are you doing now to promote tourism worldwide for Uganda?
That's a very good question. From a strategic point of view, we have a tourism master plan, which is going to see us in the next 10 to 15 years. One of the things we have emphasized in that master plan is the need to have market representation in source markets. So for instance, we're looking at the North American market, which is the US and Canada. We're looking at the UK and Ireland. We're looking at the German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We're looking at the Nordic or the Scandinavian countries. We're looking at some of the Benelux countries. By getting market representation, engaging our embassy, doing more PR, encouraging media. We are flying in media people and tour and travel companies, tour operators to Uganda to have first-hand experience and then be able to sell that experience to another country. So we're putting in more money, more resources, more reach, more creative ideas, more innovation, but more importantly, trying to expose our country to the outside world, which we think and believe we have a very good product. Yeah.
Okay, you see, there's been a lot of outbreaks of diseases that are contagious, and so that has been really affecting the tourism, I believe. How are you handling this as a tourism company? How are you handling this?
It has been a very unfortunate experience for us as Africa, and I will speak on behalf of Africa that, first of all, the way the media has reported this series of incidents has been unfair. For instance, where Ebola is way, way, way far from where we are. I'll give you an example. The distance from Sierra Leone, where the latest incursion of this disease is placed, and Uganda is the same distance as somebody traveling from Vancouver all the way to Cuba, and there's nothing in between. Africa has 52, 54 countries. We are very, very far apart. But more importantly, there is no need for that scare. A lot of it has been contained. It's only in a few pockets. And what I think is that there is a general perception that Africa is one country and therefore it's a no-go area. But let me use this time to appeal to the international community that Africa is a very safe place to travel. It has a fantastic experience. A lot of the information that's moving around is unfair, is unfortunate, and is not true. It's a very safe place to travel. And for Uganda, we invite all the visitors. Our place is clean, our country is safe, and it's worth having an experience to travel to.
Julie
now I'm standing outside the African stand where all the African nations are exhibiting their tourism and what they've got to offer. My name is Rosemary. Thank you for joining us on the show.